In the bright sunset, Alice witnessed the warm scene of parents welcoming their children, but her heart felt heavy when her daughter Aurora had not yet appeared. While distracted by the beauty of the sunset sky, Alice accidentally meets David, an old friend. During the conversation, he accidentally revealed bad rumors about her fiancé. Determined to find the truth for her daughter's future, Alice gradually discovers dark secrets about this man. On the day of the wedding, Alice made everything public in her speech, leaving the royal guests confused. She reveals the truth about financial crimes and her fiancé's illegal relationship. Through this work, Alice not only freed herself but also protected her daughter from a marriage based on lies. Alice, the girl in front of the girl's eyes, slowly stood up after the gentle touch, while the man in front of her eyes slowly stood up after the light touch. When their eyes met, a magical bolt of lightning passed through space, slowing down all surrounding movements. He, with his dim eyes and radiant smile, nothing less than the legendary Adonis, took advantage of her attention. Alice felt her heart beating faster than usual, a feeling she had never experienced before. "Oh, it's okay, no problem," he replied in a deep, reassuring voice, as he gently took the ring back from Alice's hand. "My name is Alex," he introduced himself, looking a bit amused by this unexpected problem. "I'm Alice," she replied, her voice known to be enchanting. In the late afternoon light, the moment their eyes met created a deep connection, making Alice feel an electric current running down her spine. She suddenly observed carefully the man in front of her, from his bright eyes, charming smile, to the harmonious lines on his face. A feeling of love and difficulty was born between them, opening a new story that Alice did not expect. As if by a cosmic conspiracy, Alice's path connects her with Alex in a poetic chance encounter. "See you around," Alex said with a gallant smile, before he continued running and disappeared into the crowd. Soon after, Alice's daughter, Aurora, arrives and they return home together. However, throughout that night, Alice couldn't stop thinking about Alex, about his eyes and smile, about this unbelievable coincidence. The next day, while waiting for Aurora at school, Alice meets Alex again, as if fate had arranged another meeting for them. He approached with a gentle smile. "We meet again," he exclaimed, and Alice couldn't help but smile back, feeling an indescribable pride at this coincidence. They chatted briefly, and the air between them was filled with both attraction and magical chemistry. Before breaking up, Alex decided not to lose this opportunity. "I'll be really sorry if I don't get your number now," he said, his eyes beaming with anticipation. Alice, feeling her heart beat faster, nodded and they exchanged contact information. When they agree to meet again, Alice walks away with a belief that her life may be about to change thanks to this lucky moment, when Aurora, in her usual innocence, ran forward and shouted, "Mommy!" Alice couldn't stop herself from smiling as she accepted her daughter's arms. In the car on the way home, Aurora curiously asked who the man her mother was talking to was. Alice smiled, her eyes filled with joy. "I have a new friend, honey." Aurora's eyes lit up, her little heart swelled with joy at the thought of the possibility that her mother might no longer be alone. Over the years, their lives have been in darkness following the tragic loss of Alice's husband and Aurora's father in a car accident 3 years ago. Aurora was only 7 years old at the time, and Alice sank deep into sadness, but gradually, this woman gathered her strength, focusing on raising her daughter. As a talented architect working for a large company, Alice was financially stable and even planned to open her own office. They live in a beautiful house, and although the burden of loss is still heavy, Alice is determined to provide Aurora with the best opportunities possible. Now, when someone new like Alex appears, promising to bring a ray of hope and newness to their lives, Aurora can't hide her excitement. The little girl put her hand on her mother's and said, "I hope you're happy, Mom." Alice felt emotional, knowing that all her perseverance and sacrifice were for a day like today. When she could truly smile again, surrounded by material success and the unending love of her daughter Aurora, Alice still cannot avoid a deep sense of loneliness. The sudden loss of her husband left a deep wound in her heart, a wound that time seems unable to heal. Although Aurora, now 10 years old, has always been the joy and light in Alice's life, she also constantly reminds her mother of her lost happiness. "Mom, I really want a little sister," Aurora said with hopeful eyes, convincing her mother that it was time to find a new partner. Alice, despite appreciating her daughter's love and care, still cannot overcome her fear of opening her heart again. She always responded cautiously. "Maybe someday, honey, if there's someone really special." Time passed, and Alice continued to feel like she couldn't find anyone capable of filling the void in her heart left by her husband's death. However, everything begins to change the day Alice meets Alex, a man who makes her immediately feel a strong and undeniable connection. When Alex invited her to a dinner with his friends, Alice felt an excitement she had never felt before. She chose a beautiful dress and gentle makeup, highlighting her sparkling eyes. Aurora, when she saw her mother getting ready, couldn't hide her enthusiasm. "Oh Mom, you look so beautiful." Alice left home, her heart full of hope, to attend the planned dinner. She felt fun and natural when chatting with Alex and his friends. He was an attractive, charming man, and his humorous stories about his job as an insurance salesman amused Alice. They find harmony in their conversation, and Alice begins to realize that this could be the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one in which she is ready to open herself up to love again. As the relationship between Alice and Alex becomes deeper and deeper, meeting and taking care of each other gradually becomes a sweet habit. Alice felt extremely lucky to have Alex by her side, and he even mentioned marriage. However, together they decided to move slowly, especially with Aurora's feelings in mind. In order for Aurora to get used to this idea, Alice decided to organize a dinner at home, creating an opportunity for her daughter and Alex to get closer. Dinner is meticulously prepared, like a small party with delicious dishes and a cozy space. When Alex arrived, the atmosphere became more bustling than ever. He is even more charming in the intimate space of the house. That evening, laughter and conversation were non-stop. However, while Alice and Alex were enjoying the moment, Aurora seemed uncomfortable. The girl tried to ignore her uncomfortable feelings to focus on the party, but deep inside, something was wrong with her. After Alex leaves, Aurora finally confesses her feelings to her mother. "Mom, I don't like him." Alice was surprised and confused. Unable to understand why her young daughter felt that way, especially since Alex had always been so kind. "Why do you say that, love?" Alice asked, her eyes filled with worry. "He's very kind," she added, filled with turmoil, not knowing how to resolve the emotional conflict between her daughter and the man she was slowly falling in love with. Alice felt torn when she heard her daughter express concern about Alex. Aurora, hesitantly, finally said, "I don't know, Mom. There was something strange about him when he was here." Faced with her daughter's doubts while still wanting to find happiness, Alice decides to give this relationship a chance, hoping that Aurora will gradually accept Alex. Time passed, and Alex became more and more present in their daily lives, frequently visiting and slowly behaving as if he were the master of the house. One day, Alex brought disappointing news. His insurance company had gone bankrupt and he was having financial difficulties. He needed some money to help him get through the difficult times. Alice, with a kind heart, agreed to lend him a large amount of money. Not long after, Alex introduced his sister, Jam, who was looking for a job and needed a temporary place to stay. Alice, always willing to help others, invites Jam to stay at her home and even offers to help her find a job at her architectural office. "I'll see what I can do for you," Alice said. "Maybe there's a job for you there." But Aurora, who was not impressed with Alex, now feels even more suspicious when Jam appears. The girl was uncomfortable with this change and expressed her concerns to her mother. Aurora feels as if their small family is being invaded by strangers she cannot trust. Alice, despite wanting to help and open up to new people, begins to wonder if she is being blind. She began to reflect on her relationship with Alex and felt a gentle unease growing in her heart. Was she too hasty? Questions about trust and love gradually become inevitable thoughts. She decided to closely monitor all developments. For Aurora, and for herself. Aurora feels increasingly uncomfortable and insecure with Alex and Jam's growing presence in their family's life. The girl tried to express her doubts to her mother many times. "Mom, I think he's lying to you," Aurora said, confused as she tried to explain what she heard from Alex and Jam's conversation without being able to fully understand the content. Alice, although worried, still advised her daughter to try to be kinder, hoping that everything would work out. As time passed, Aurora still couldn't calm down over Alex and Jam's growing intimacy, always wondering why her mother didn't realize something was wrong. The girl felt disappointed and didn't know how to convince her mother of the truth. Meanwhile, Alice, confident in this new love, hopes that Aurora will gradually accept Alex as part of the family. When Alex proposed to make their relationship public and set a wedding date, Alice, filled with happiness and hope, agreed without hesitation, believing that she had found true love since her tragic death. Husband's carpet. They had been planning this move for nearly a year, and now seemed like the right time to share the news with Aurora. However, when Alice announced the news of the engagement to Aurora, she could not hide her deep disappointment and determination to destroy all plans. Aurora, despite her anger and anxiety, did everything she could to prevent this marriage, including begging her mother to reconsider. In a state of confusion and helplessness, Alice began to rethink everything, wondering if she had overlooked something important that her daughter had been trying to point out. Alice, right in the moments before her grand wedding, can't help but be haunted by the previous night's argument with her daughter Aurora. The girl openly expressed her distrust of Alex, noting that he and his sister were always asking for money and felt something was wrong. However, Alice, hoping that everything would be okay, did not listen to her daughter and was determined to continue with the wedding plans, believing that she and Alex were building a new family. "You have to learn to accept them, we are a family," Alice had said, even though her heart couldn't help but feel heavy. The wedding day arrived. The atmosphere in the garden where the wedding was held was as beautiful as a dream. Everything was arranged perfectly as Alice had dreamed for this second marriage. She believes that, even though her late husband is no longer there, he will bless her from afar. However, Aurora's absence, deciding not to attend the wedding because she did not want to see her mother marry someone she did not trust, made Alice's heart sink. The wedding ceremony began in a romantic atmosphere. Alex stood next to Alice with a radiant smile, and Jam stood as the maid of honor. However, when it came to the most important part of the wedding, the officiant asked Alice if she would accept this man as her husband. Alice suddenly looked at the crowd, where her daughter was absent. In that moment, Aurora's words rang in her head, along with the doubts and worries she had tried to ignore. Alice's heart pounded, and she suddenly realized that she could no longer ignore the voice in her heart. In the decisive moment, Alice looked into Alex's eyes, then slowly shook her head. "I can't," she exclaimed, her voice shaking. And then, a series of secrets began to be revealed, turning what should have been a happy wedding into a confrontation full of tension and truth. Alice realizes that her daughter's trust and safety are more important than any relationship, and she finally listens to Aurora's voice. During the important moment of the wedding, when asked if she would accept Alex as her husband, Alice suddenly stopped and turned to look straight at Alex with cold eyes. "No," she said clearly, her voice filled with determination, leaving everyone present speechless in surprise. Alex was confused and stammered asking why, but Alice was ready to face it. "The truth is, all this time, you were pretending and I believed you. You took my money, and I trusted you," Alice revealed, her eyes never leaving Alex and Jam. "After hearing the warning from my daughter, I followed my motherly instincts and rechecked the home security camera system. I discovered that not only are you both scamming, but collude with each other." The presence of the security camera was revealed, causing Alex and Jam to panic, visibly caught off guard. They tried to make excuses but Alice did not waver. "Everything has been recorded, audio and video. The police will be arriving any minute," Alice announced, and with a flick of her wrist, she took off the engagement ring and threw it at Alex, then walked quickly outside to meet the police officers who were ready. This event turned the wedding into a shocking drama. making the crowd unable to believe what they were witnessing. Alice's revelations revealed that both the initial meeting in front of the school and the wedding day were all a plot to rob her of money, as they knew she was a rich widow. Returning home heartbroken but relieved, Alice felt extremely grateful that the intelligence and courage of her daughter, Aurora, had prevented this marriage. "My daughter, you are my greatest blessing, you saved me from a disaster," Alice told Aurora, grateful to have been saved by her daughter from an elaborate con artist. With tears streaming down her cheeks, Alice looked to the future with hope. "I believe that someone truly good will come to us," she said, her voice firm. Aurora, always the light warm fire next to his mother, replied sweetly, "You will find that person, mother." Not long after that, Joseph, an upright and kind man, contacted the writer. Alice's architect's office. At first sight, he recognized Alice's mental trauma and understood the importance of Aurora in her life. With tears falling down her cheeks, Alice looked into the future with hope. "I believe that someone truly good will come to us," she said, her voice firm. Aurora, always a warm flame by her mother's side, responded sweetly, "You'll find that person, Mom." Not long after, Joseph, a righteous and kind man, contacted Alice's architect's office. He realized Alice's mental trauma and understood Aurora's importance in her life. Over several months, Joseph became an indispensable part of their family, proving himself to be a trustworthy man and loving both Alice and Aurora like his own family. Completely different from Alex, Joseph is the one who makes Alice feel safe and loved. Their relationship, which began as a professional collaboration, quickly developed into a deep and sincere love. Their joy was doubled when Alice gave birth to a beautiful daughter, the sister Aurora had long been waiting for. The pain of the past has now become distant memories, giving way to love and happiness that fills the life of the small family. With Joseph, Alice and Aurora are ready to face the future with new confidence and joy. They begin a new chapter, a promising beginning, leaving the darkness of the past to embrace their dreams that are about to come true. And if you find this story captivating, look forward to the next video, it will definitely not disappoint you. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming touching stories. See you in the next stories.